everyone, I'm Nicole Schumann and I'm here at CES, and our next guest we have is Hollis Guerra. She is Senior Vice President at DBC Brand Communications. Welcome, Hollis.
Thank you, Nicole. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So first off, I'm just curious, what are you focusing on here at CES?
I think what many people are is the trends and what's coming up for 2025. But certainly also, I think, understanding what it might mean for brands and consumers. So taking a step back, not just as someone in PR and marketing and who wants to help our clients, but also what's it really going to ultimately mean for the consumer. Ultimately that's what we all are. And so it's fascinating to see both on a personal and a professional level. So understanding the new technologies, what the trends are, what's on everyone's mind, consolidation, AI, data and trust and privacy, and how that's really going to infiltrate into our daily lives. You can see some of these robots and these TV screens and all the cool gadgets. What's that really going to ultimately mean in the consumer world?
What's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
Well, I do love the massage chairs. The they're not like the coolest thing, but boy, would I love to just come and sit in one of them after walking around, so many steps. I think the AI for home and the innovations and the smart homes are really fascinating, because I'd love to see what actually sticks and what works, how that might improve lives, how it might not necessarily improve lives, but efficiency in the home. There's AI for Chat GPT and using it in your work life, but everyone's also asking, where are the things that can improve my daily life so I can go and think creatively and strategically and not spend time, where's the robot that's gonna do my laundry?
I did see a robot lawnmower. Very small.
Kind of almost like a Zumba. What is it, a Zumba?
Roomba.
Yeah, the Roomba for your home, but for the grass. Yeah, that's great. Ways to make our lives simple so that we can then focus on maybe the bigger picture and more intricate ideas that we have.
Definitely. You've worked in tech PR. What does being part of CES mean for PR brands, or for PR of brands and organizations?
I think, first of all, it's the first big tentpole event coming back after the holiday break. I think being here is really important. It helps for a lot of our clients. They've got new messaging, they've got new innovations, they've got products that they want to showcase, and also to make connections and reconnect and set the stage for potential partnerships and opportunities for the future, for the coming year. I think being here and having a presence is really important. Everyone is very open to making connections, so there's a lot of opportunities to meet. And I think there's a great opportunity to hear from the brands and from agencies and advertisers on what's on their minds for the coming year. So it's a great place to set the stage and set your year.
Great. And, relating to that, in your talks and meetings, what are other industry folks, especially in PR, what are people focusing on for the year ahead?
I think there's a couple things. There's so much change in our industry, whether it's, what media that clients are really interested in, if it's podcast, audio, if it's, of course, sort of the traditional PR, where, it's journalism and just written, print, and long-form content. So what changes might happen in 2025, and where are there moves being made, and where are what's really important for clients. And also I'd say, the innovation and how is AI going to affect workflow? How are you using it? What does it really mean for PR? Is it a starting point? Is it an editing point? How are you implementing it into your daily life? And then understanding how our clients are using it. So I think there's a lot of focus on what it means for PR and marketing and communications for the coming year.
Yeah, definitely seems like there was a lot of testing in 2024, and now people are kind of zeroing in on the different things that they really want to do with the AI.
What really works? How does it not really work? It's never going to replace the human voice, the human touch, getting your real sentiment across. So what's the balance between leveraging these technologies and these tools that we should all understand and know and use? And certainly, I use it in my everyday life, in terms of just, making an itinerary for travel. There's really cool case studies on how you can use AI, but then what does that mean for, how we're using it in our daily, work lives? And does it have a place? What is that place? You know, what does it really look like? Because certainly nothing's going to replace like the human touch. And when it comes to public relations, it's the person and the people and the relationships.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you've been to CES and you've been working at different trade events and things like that. What is your number one tip for PR people in communication?
I know you've heard about like, you know, okay, so daily tip, like general tip, I know you've already heard of like wearing comfortable shoes, having flexibility in your schedule. I think one that's important though is people are here to make connections and to meet. So ask for the meeting. You know, people have the time. We're all together. Like, how often does that really happen? There's all these tentpole events, but then often there's times of just working, you know, at your desk. So make the request, have the ask. And I'd say also a great tip is paying it forward. If you get a ticket that for something you don't want to go to, give it to someone else.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, like I am so happy and grateful when I get invited someplace, and if I can pass that on, like to anybody that I might meet, I think it's a good way of kind of giving it back and just extending your reach and your network. And sometimes if you're tired and you can't go to something, someone else who's got a little bit more energy in that moment is able to go. So
it's hard to keep that energy up, that's for sure. So if I don't want to go see 50 Cent later,
someone else
I will
probably really does. But making time,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
You do. Okay, then you go. You know, but making time for yourself, you know, is important. Also, one little thing for being here, because we're on the West Coast, and many people are coming in from New York, don't work East Coast hours. Like, don't get up at 6 and be working, because then you're going to go from 6 a.m. to midnight. Like, relax, sleep, take a walk, have a coffee. Like, don't just be up working like nonstop. Take the morning as the morning.
That is good. That's a good point. And yeah, because definitely when you're going to bed, it definitely feels a lot later.
Yeah.
Than 11 p.m. here.
Yep. So think about that time change and how it affects your body.
Love that.
As spoken as someone who's often traveling to the East Coast and over, you know, elsewhere. So yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Hollis, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure all of our PR people have learned something from this conversation, especially if you're going to be coming to CES at any point in your career. Thank you so much, and we'll be with you shortly with more.